in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
Boom! Service and fast approval. Now all you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, 2 references. That's it. Apply now. Visit shopcoats.com. Come home to Coats Ready Cash. We ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Everybody push something in the air now.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, young woman found hanging in True Blue. Local doctor warns to be cautious as Trinidad confirms 2 cases of monkeypox. Local businessman and pastor not on police forces' radar for the murder of John T. Robinson. And in sport, Grenada hosts National Sports Calendar Design Workshop. We'll have the details to those and other stories a look to at the public forecast information. So all coming up for you right after the break. Stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a young woman in True Blue, St. George. Sources confirmed to MTV News that police were called to the scene sometime after 10 p.m. on Wednesday, where 21-year-old Kenya Roberts was found hanging in her home. This is the second case in 1 week where a young woman was found dead in similar circumstances. Last Thursday, young lawyer Celine Edwards was found hanging outside her home in Golf Course, Grand Anse. Meanwhile, there's a rising concern among clinical psychologists with what seems to be an upward trend of females ending their lives. Dr. Augustine Panchu says based on information being circulated, to allege hangings in a matter of days is something to be concerned about.
However, it is very interesting to note, though, that females are usually the ones who attempt suicide more than males. It's just that males tend to use very lethal means, hanging, suicide by jumping off buildings and other structures, and then by using gramaxone or insecticide, weedicide.
Dr. Panchu describes a recent incident as a trend, considering that this is not something that normally happens. He says whenever a female chooses hanging, it's a desperate sign of hopelessness and helplessness.
Because this is really not, it is not a trend that historically that we have in Grenada or in the Caribbean or in the rest of the world, really. It is so this is a phenomenon, I think, that we as social scientists and clinicians and mental health professionals, we may need to follow to see what is going on here, because this is what we refer to in sociological context as an anomaly. And remember, perception becomes reality for a person. People who take their life, sometimes, it's not all the time, but sometimes it is evident that this is the only control that they have left.
In other news this evening, with 2 confirmed cases of monkeypox virus in neighboring Trinidad, a local doctor is calling on Grenadians to be cautious, while Grenada's Ministry of Health says that they are monitoring this development. 2 months ago, the World Health Organization, WHO, downgraded monkeypox from a public health emergency of international concern. But let's get more in a report from Rachel Bain.
Over 88,144 monkeypox cases with 149 deaths have been confirmed by the World Health Organization between January 1st, 2022 to July 3rd, 2023. On Wednesday afternoon, Trinidad confirmed 2 cases of the virus, and public health practitioner Dr. Francis Martin believes Grenadians should be ever more cautious of their hygiene.
Hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, careful with how you expose yourself. Outside of that, I think it's just a matter of being very generally careful about how you handle yourself and you interact with people on a daily basis.
The incubation period for monkeypox can last anywhere between a few days to 1 week, depending on your immune system. Common symptoms include a rash, fever, headache, muscle aches, back pain, low energy, and swollen glands. Dr. Martin says monkeypox has a very high transmission rate.
You can contract it by skin-to-skin contact with someone who has an infection, or you can be contacted through what we call fomites, meaning that if there's an infected surface and you get in contact with that infected surface, you can get the virus from that, or an animal who is infected with the virus. So skin-to-skin contact is really important to understand, because it means that it can also be transmitted through sexual activities and sexual intercourse.
The surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs is aware of and is closely monitoring the first reported confirmed case of monkeypox virus in the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. The case was confirmed on Tuesday, July 12, 2023 by the Ministry of Health of Trinidad and Tobago, which explained that contact tracing procedure were initiated as per its response protocols. The monkeypox virus is a member of the orthopox virus genus in the family Poxviridae. It can be transmitted to humans through close contact with an infected person or animal, or with contaminated materials such as bedding. It is also transmitted from one person to another by close contact with lesions, body fluids, and respiratory droplets. The main symptoms of monkeypox are fever, rash, and swollen lymph nodes. For MTV News, Rachel B.
A release from the Royal Grenada Police Force is refuting claims of having questioned a local businessman and pastor for murder. Thursday's release states, and I quote here, "The Royal Grenada Police Force has become aware of information currently in circulation on social media stating that police have picked up a prominent business person and a pastor for questioning in relation to the murder of the late John T. Robinson. The Royal Grenada Police Force categorically refutes this information," unquote. The statement further went on that the Royal Grenada Police Force is vigorously pursuing every lead in the unsolved murder, and, again I quote here, "We have had no interest in either of the 2 individuals in this regard," unquote. This has been the first segment in the Evening News Thursday. We'll be back with more after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Well, what do you know? The NLA is giving you an additional chance at winning in its Crazy Cash Second Chance Parish Giveaway. Yes! Starting June 10th, enter your non-winning Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway tickets valued at $12 or more in a single purchase for a chance to win over $25,000 in cash. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before dropping them in the NLA branded box at your favorite authorized agent. Draws will be conducted every Friday starting June 23rd to July 21st, 2023 for every parish. That's a total of 105 draws of $250 each. Promotion ends July 14th, 2023. Must be 18 or older to participate. Other terms and conditions apply. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Do you know that you can lower your electricity bill by using energy-saving bulbs? CFLs and LEDs use up to 75% less energy than your traditional bulbs, and they even last 10 to 25 times longer. Over time, consider switching to more energy-efficient CFLs and LEDs, which can help lower your electricity bill. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by using energy-saving bulbs. What can you do?
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. Complaints from small business owners in the capital who say business is no longer booming. Speaking with MTV News, the men say things are tough and increasing their prices is not a luxury that they can enjoy.
As Grenadians continue to grapple with the rippling effects of inflation, two entrepreneurs spoke to MTV about the impact it is having on their businesses and personal lives. This young man, who has been a barber for many years, told MTV there are days he goes home without $1 after an entire day's work, and having a substantial saving is hardly an option.
Well, currently, I wouldn't actually say that I'm thriving. I would more say that, right now the economy is very slow. You have days that is up and down, and you can't pick a day and say today will be a good day. You have days I go open and hardly any business, and you have days I can't seem to get enough business. But I wouldn't say essentially that we're thriving right now. I would more say that we're just getting by and hoping for a better day to come. Well, essentially I've had to bring my business to a level where I myself, because I'm self-employed, so I have to pay myself, and I myself have to budget. I have to budget to be able, to make ends meet and get to where I need to be, essentially.
Business for this man, Stewman, is also on a downward spiral, and he is considering closing up shop.
To be honest with you, the people in Grenada here, it is really hard. Things is really, really hard. I don't know what's going on in the country. Right now, Grenada, the streets on Melville Street, it looks like we could play cricket, but right now, we don't have anything in the country. The country is too hard, to be honest with you, the people of Grenada and the people of the world. I don't know what is happening. So we need some solution toward this right now.
How are you coping?
Well, to be honest with you, I come in every day just to see how things going to be, if we're going to get any changes. But there's no changes right now.
He says the price of sugar has increased significantly, and sometimes it's a choice of buying fruits or sugar, since he can barely afford both.
Everybody know this is what the stewman do. Sell stews. I'm making mango and damsel, golden apple, plum, tambran, breadfruit, just name the fruit. I do it in stews. But things so hard, so high now. Everything goes so high, which is the sugar, and everything goes so high. I can't even purchase the amount of fruits again and purchase the amount of sugar to continue doing this business. It seems to me like I might have to close it down.
The question remains, will business get better? For MTV News, Rachel Bain.
Grenada's Ministry of Health is hosting a 2-day training workshop for media workers at the Radisson Hotel in Grand Anse. Participants from the Government Information Service, GIS, media workers and public relations officers at various ministries will be trained in effective communication during health risks and crises. A main goal of the training is to strengthen national capacity in risk and crisis communication. Speaking during Thursday's opening, Senior Community Health Nurse with responsibility for immunization, Hannah St. Paul, highlighted the importance of a collaboration between the media and healthcare workers.
We realize that as administrators, we must communicate and we must track the key messages that goes out as it relates to our disease information and our disease trend. And it is in this context, the Ministry of Health has taken the initiative to collaborate with our healthcare professionals as well as media workers to ensure that the message that reaches the public helps to build public confidence in the service that we provide.
Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Health, Naomi Jeremiah, sees the training as a step in the right direction.
Communication and the transition of information is key to the intended audience. This information transmitted would allow the receiver of the information to make independent judgment among the risks to health, safety, and the environment. Today, risk communication is to enable people at risk to make informed decisions.
The training is facilitated by communications expert Philomena Robertson. As Grenada gears up for Spice Mass 2023, CEO of the Spice Mass Corporation, Cecil Noel, says a lot of emphasis will be placed on traditional mass. He was speaking on MTV's Community Forum program on Wednesday evening.
And one may ask why, but really and truly, we see that as one of the key or major aspects that determine the success of Spice Mass. Put it this way. You're going to have the events at the Calypso tents. You're going to have the events at the fixed venues such as the stadium. People will go. They will go. But when we have the events on the street, and I like to refer to it as street theater, if it's not run properly, I think that is when people start saying Spice Mass was not successful. On the other hand, if it's run properly and there's a nice smooth flow, I think we will get credit for it as being a successful Spice Mass.
Noel says he's confident that this year's carnival will be on with a difference and says a lot has gone into preparing the traditional aspect.
What we want to do and what we're aiming at is to work closely with all of these various aspects of the traditional mass. I'm not telling you you're going to see all of them. I'm not telling you you're going to see great numbers of all of them, but I'm telling you the present that we expect is going to highlight that this is something we need to hold on to. And the reason why I'm saying all of this to you, most of these masks have been dying over time. So as a young boy in St. Paul's, I still recall, if I stay by the road, I will see the Wild Indians coming down from St. David's. I will see the Maypole dancers coming down from St. Paul's, St. David's. And I would see all the element passing through the village. I didn't necessarily have to come to town for that. That has faded away. Now, what we're trying to do is to sensitize the public that, listen, this is something that is unique to us and we need to try to get it back. So part of what we are doing is going out into the village where the traditional mass the leaders are. Interview them, find out from them the status with regards to the mass band. Where are they? What can be done to help them to develop? So let's say next year, the following year, they could move forward. And we are actually doing some documentaries. As we go along, we have the videographers. So whereas in this case, much money is not directly put into the hands of the traditional mass people, but we are pumping the money to bring up that awareness of the mass, to get people to buy into it. And we are hoping that in so doing, we'll be able to, first of all, have it sustained, and secondly, get a greater interest. So we see more people wanting to get involved in the bands.
CEO there of the Spice Mass Corporation, Cecil Noel. It was graduation day for the students at New Life organization NULO on Thursday. The skills training institution held its 23rd graduation ceremony under the theme Commitment to Our God and Country and Our Future. During her opening remarks, NULO's executive director, Sister Margaret Yahoo, rejoiced over the positive transformation of the graduating class and encouraged graduates to pursue their dreams.
You are not ashamed of NULO seated here today. You are very proud to wear this red gown. You are very proud to receive the NULO certificate and to get the CVQ to find employment. So do not be ashamed to promote and to support NULO as you leave these wars. I wish you all the best, and may only the best follow you wherever you go.
Pleasant reflections were shared by the graduating class.
I can't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Looking back on my time at school, I realized just how much I've grown and changed over the past months at NULO.
Although my time at NULO was short, I had a lot of fun from the other class activities like the fashion show that the sewing department put on. It was nice to watch. And the sports like cross country that couldn't even be called a cross country because it was too short.
The rap sessions, presentations, and online role play was great. And due to my wonderful experience at ADP, I was eager to start my skill.
We stand at the accumulation of years of hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance. Each one of us embarked on a unique journey filled with personal growth, challenges, and triumphs. Now, it is time to pause and look back on the memories we have created, the lessons we have learned, and the people who have helped us along the way.
Graduates were presented with certificates of completion and outstanding performances by Honorable Philip Telesford and Senator Gloria Thomas. The Grenada Association of Retired Persons, GARP, celebrated its 12th anniversary on Wednesday with a social gathering and art session for its members. GARP was formed to attend to the social and entertainment needs of senior citizens 50 years and over.
We have a very good turnout of our membership and also dear friends. We run a lot of health clinics on a monthly basis where we look at diabetes and other health checks. We also have a partnership with the General Hospital where we refer at-risk cases.
Members were taught the basics of painting a tulip flower. General Manager at Nishon Jeremiah Arts, Princess Jeremiah, says that they jumped at the opportunity to engage with seniors.
Now, as you guys know, art has the ability to heal and rejuvenate persons' mental health, so we are absolutely honored to get the opportunity to do this painting session with the lovely people here at GAP.
Well, that's the second segment of the Evening News Thursday here on MTV, with regional highlights next.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Hit it up to your inner move, stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
It's the 4th edition
edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you know that you can lower your electricity bill by using energy-saving bulbs? CFLs and LEDs use up to 75% less energy than your traditional bulbs, and they even last 10 to 25 times longer. Over time, consider switching to more energy-efficient CFLs and LEDs, which can help lower your electricity bill. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by using energy-saving bulbs. What can you do?
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
This is the MTV Evening News.
This is the regional roundup for today. I am Danessa Panchu. Trinidad and Tobago records its first monkeypox case within 48 hours. In a media release yesterday afternoon, the Ministry of Health advised that a second case of the monkeypox virus was confirmed via laboratory testing, and the patient is a young adult male. While the ministry did not indicate if this most recent patient was linked to the first case, detected on Tuesday, the middle-aged male with recent travel history, the relevant country medical officer of health is conducting an epidemiology investigation. The Ministry of Health said it has initiated a local public health response, which includes home isolation and contact tracing for the patient. According to the MOH, monkeypox can cause various signs and symptoms. While some people have mild symptoms, others may develop more severe symptoms and need care in health facility. Those at higher risk for severe disease or complications include pregnant women, children, and immunocompromised people. In Jamaica, it is appearing most certain that the 37 Haitians who landed on the coast of Portland on Monday will be charged with illegal entry and deported to their troubled homeland. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kamina Joseph Smith, on Wednesday used a post-cabinet media briefing to indicate that while the Ministry of National Security is the lead agency dealing with Haitians, it is unlikely that they will be allowed to stay. We have not taken a fixed policy position in respect of Haitians' arrival in Jamaica, but at this point we know that we are creatures of international law and we are always guided by that in terms of rules and asylum and refugee status. There has been no claim made by either category by the persons who have arrived, and therefore they are being treated as illegal entrants because of this, the capacity within which they arrived, said Johnson Smith. The matter will be discussed further, but at this point, there is no overarching position that is taken in respect of Haitians' arrival in Jamaica at this time, other than we are guided by international law and domestic laws as they stand, said Johnson Smith in response to a question from a member of the media. And finally, in the region in Guyana, an update on the ongoing case involving former Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Daramlal, who is facing accusation of rape and sodomy. President Irfan Ali has called for allowing the legal system to take its course in addressing this matter. However, the opposition tends to organize protest actions to ensure justice is served. More in this report.
During a press conference on Wednesday, President Irfan Ali reiterated that we must allow the system to work in the case of the 16-year-old schoolgirl who had accused former Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Daramlal, of rape and sodomy. During a Facebook live stream, Hastings Williams noted that, like any other citizen, she would continue to fight for justice for the schoolgirl.
If I don't stand up for what is right, I have to count myself culpable of condoning or accepting that wrong thing that is being done to another citizen of my own country.
In a letter dated July 9, 2023, the alleged victim, among other things, stated that her privacy was violated when she was taken into the Child Care and Protection Agency. Moreover, she said the issue should not have escalated to the extent it has.
The conversation will continue, Ms. Simona Brooms, and the protest will continue, or the picketing will continue when it is necessary. It will continue. So I want our viewers to know that we are not going to give up. Now is not time to give up, but it's time to continue to talk to each other.
Last week, President Ali disclosed that Daramlal did not want to bring the government into disrepute and, as such, tendered his resignation. He's expected to name Daramlal's replacement by the end of this week. Renata Burnett, reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
That's it for this evening's Regional Roundup. I am Donessa Pancho.
We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
Well, what do you know? The NLA is giving you an additional chance at winning in its Crazy Cash Second Chance Parish Giveaway. Yes! Starting June 10th, enter your non-winning Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway tickets valued at $12 or more in a single purchase for a chance to win over $25,000 in cash. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before dropping them in the NLA branded box at your favorite authorized agent. Draws will be conducted every Friday starting June 23rd to July 21st, 2023 for every parish. That's a total of 105 draws of $250 each. Promotion ends July 14th, 2023. Must be 18 or older to participate. Other terms and conditions apply. NLA, making your dreams come true.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Fit for Life presents its 11th annual Kids Summer Program 2023 with the theme Move Your Body, Stimulate Your Mind. From July 10th to August the 11th, 5 weeks of educational and fun activities for the kids ages 3 to 14. Executed by certified, experienced teachers, fitness trainers, and other professionals. Activities include physical fitness, diet, nature walks, martial arts, lessons in renewable energy, food safety and security, recycling, reducing and reusing renewable energy, healthy cooking, fitness and nutrition, games, career building, academics, and so much more. Only $290 EC. Sibling discounts and early bird specials available. For more information, call 404-9355, 405-9357 or 439-3488. Fit for Life's Kids Summer Program. Move your body, stimulate your mind.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Grenada hosts National Sports Calendar Design Workshop. That story and more coming up in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
Good evening to you sporting fans. Here's now Rachel Bain with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. The National Sports Council Secretariat hosted a workshop on Thursday, July 13, 2023, to design a national sports calendar for 2024, which will lead to more effective planning, budgeting, and hosting of sports events in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Presentations were made by representatives from the Office of the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Terrorist Financing, AMLCTF, and the Ministry of Finance. Sporting federations and associations were all invited to participate in the working sessions through their General Secretary or representative. The Minister for Sport is Honorable Ron Redhead.
This essentially is to organize all of us into a unified group when it comes to our sporting calendar, and primarily to organize us so that we will know the magnitude of the resources required. So far, our experience at the ministry has indicated that we are often in a bind, having to provide emergency assistance to some of these associations, whether it be to travel or to participate in particular events. We want to move away from that kind of thing, and with the organization of the National Sports Council, we believe that if we have that institutionalized through the passage of the National Sports Policy as law, it will help drive our own organization, and therefore this is going to be a practical example, and this we expect to be something annual.
This event is being held in collaboration with the Department of Sports, the Grenada Olympic Committee, and the National Lotteries Authority. The Grenada Athletic Association announces its 4-member team for the North America, Central America, and the Caribbean NACAC Age Group Championship set for the Dominican Republic from Saturday 15 to 16 July 2023. The team is comprised of the following athletes: Kayla Christopher from the St. David Track Blazers, Rachel Etienne from the 473 MVP, Shaim Phillip from the Classic Lightning Caribbean, Wester Hall Secondary School, and Nikhil Abraham from the Classic Lightning Caribbean South City Rising Stars. The athletes will participate in the under-15 category and are scheduled to depart Grenada for the championship on Thursday, 13 July 2023. Mrs. Kathleen Victor will accompany the team in the capacity of manager, coupled with Mr. Lee Coffey as the team coach. The Grenada Olympic Committee assisted with the funding of the team's participation in the championship. Eagle Super Striker Under 15 continues their unbeaten run in the Sandals Grenada Football Association GFA Under 15 tournament on Wednesday with a 6-0 win over Queen's Park Rangers at Queen's Park. Raheem Rayburn and Kareem Monroe each had a brace, while Luke Richmond and Jaden Modest contributed with 1 goal each. Here are some highlights of that game. During an interview with the president of the Grenada Shatukan Karate Association, Tessin Chase, on Tuesday, he spoke about the accomplishments of the association over the years. Chase also accepted the invite from Master Frank Wunatai for the International Karate Dejaku World Cup.
In the regional tournaments, we have Caribbean champions. Currently, Sensei Brian George is the Caribbean champion in Kumite, which is sparring or fighting. He is the current Caribbean champion from Guyana 2019 in the over 50 category. And I hope that he will be there to defend, not defend his title, but to increase on his reputation and titles at the World Cup. We also have Sensei Raquel Ratu, who has previously represented us and came very close to Caribbean Championship. She has gained podium positions many times, as well as myself. I have gained podium positions at regional tournaments, Caribbean Championships in Jamaica in 2016. I received the bronze medal in Kumite, and always made it to the final rounds of kata.
And that's it for MTV's Evening Sports. I am Rachel Bean.
Thanks, Rachel, for the latest in sport. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of the headlines.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We believe in possibilities. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Thursday evening, viewers, and with the nighttime weather forecast, I'm meteorologist Dwayne Williams. After a sunny start to the day, we did see an increase in cloudiness and some showers by the latter part of the afternoon as cloudiness ahead of a tropical wave encroaches on the islands. That tropical wave continues to move towards the islands. We are expecting more deterioration in the weather from that wave maybe on Saturday. The convection has died down a bit, but as it approaches the islands and upper level winds weaken, we could be seeing some increase in convection. The second wave continues to move along also, still some convection behind it, so that is another area that we're keeping our eyes on. For tonight, some moisture in the air, a bit of low level clouds. They are going to move into the region, but most of the showers that we are expecting tonight will be brief and not too heavy. The forecast for Thursday night, some brief showers. Winds would remain northeasterly between 8 and 18 miles per hour with a minimum temperature of 24. The moon is going to rise at 2:57 in the morning and set at 4:13 tomorrow afternoon. Wee bit of clouds tomorrow. 1 or 2 pop-up showers are still expected. Winds are going to be easterly between 12 and 24 miles per hour. Normal seas 4 to 5 foot waves. Sunrise 5:49, sunset 6:35. Temperature will still climb to 30. We would be seeing some sunshine and it will feel like 32. Isolated showers in Port of Spain, partly cloudy skies for Bridgetown, and some scattered showers are going to roll into Kingston. Thunderstorms are expected in Miami and New York, and rain for London. Back at home, we expect the showers to increase by Saturday, mostly to the afternoon. Those are expected to continue into Sunday with partly cloudy conditions after that, improving from around midweek as it becomes generally fair. That's it for me for Thursday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Remember, you can join me again for the weekend's forecast on Friday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A young woman was found hanging in True Blue, St. George. A local doctor has warned to be cautious as Trinidad has confirmed 2 cases of monkeypox. Local businessman and pastor not on Royal Grenada Police Force's radar for the murder of John T. Robinson. And in sport, Grenada hosts National Sports Calendar Design Workshop. We've had details to those and other stories look to at the public forecast information. So now, on behalf of the News and Production Departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for viewing and wish you a good night.
Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Fit for Life presents Subway Fitness Revolution 10, The Storm. Strikes at Monroe's playing field beginning Monday, 10th July. Monday to Thursday from 5 p.m. $60 gets you on the inside with 4 weeks of fitness and fun activities led by a team of local and international fitness experts. Activities include aerobics, dance-a-side, fitness challenges, heights, and our signature and highly anticipated Raw Day event. Attractive prizes and giveaways. Get fit and healthy. Lose weight. Build stamina for the summer and get in shape for Spice Mass 23. Register today at Fit for Life Medical in Grandhands or Standard Bookstore on Lucas Street, St. George. 16 days of health and fitness activities. We shift towards national health and wellness. Grenada Fitness Revolution 10, The Storm. Endorsed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Fitness Revolution 10 is sponsored by Subway Grenada, Dasani Water, Powerade, Vitamalt, Antillian Insurance, Flow, Greens Automotive, Pineapple Marketing and Communication, Allied Laboratories, Captain Harris Apartments, MTV, Emporio Grenada Limited, Sign Wizard, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, and Oro Mass Band.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
The hurricane season happens every year. We at Grenlec are always conscious of how we maintain our system, always be mindful of how we can have it ready to withstand hurricanes. That's why we have a continuous improvement mindset for our system, continuously maintaining our system, what we refer to in this industry as hardening our system. However, in January, we go through our hurricane manual. We review that with all of our staff members, so each of us know what is our response, what are our roles in terms of preparing for the hurricane season. That's prior to the hurricane season, during the hurricane, and even after the passage of a hurricane. So we know what our response and roles would be. We continuously maintain our systems throughout the year. Vegetation management in terms of tree trimming, tree cutting. We do appeal to our customers, landowners, that if they have trees that are growing close to our power lines, to allow us to cut them, to have a look at them, so we can prevent these unnecessary outages during this time. So for this hurricane season, we urge all of our customers, all of the Grenadian public, to be prepared, to be ready, so that you can have the right response should we have a hurricane this season.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, at the age of 53. She was the daughter of Eunice Braveboy, her loving and devoted mother, sister of Anthony and Junior Braveboy, Corporal Jerome James, attached to the Carriacou Police Station, Leslie Decoto in the United Kingdom, and Zira Decoto in Grenada. Niece of Eunice and Mary Matheson, Rose King and Ryan in the USA, Bernice Matheson in the UK, Fitzgerald, also known as Jeff, Anne and Teresa Matheson in Carriacou, Erlin, Lane and Patrick, and Joan King in Grenada. Aunt of Nikita Braveboy and Jeriah Dufont in Grenada, Cody, Corey and Cordell James, Amari Braveboy, Zidane Jacobs Braveboy, Montari and Leslie Jr. Decoto. Close cousin of Marilyn, Merle, Sherrianne, Nixon, Nigel, Emma, Nathan, Godwin, Anne, Michael, Slade, Nadine, Jason, and Garvin. Sister-in-law of Gertrude Braveboy, Deborah Cajo, and Avon James. Many other relatives and friends, including the Matheson families in Carriacou, Grenada, the USA, and the UK, Godwin Emmons and family, the doctors, matron, and nurses and staff at the Princess Royal Hospital, the superintendent and officers attached to the Carriacou Police Station, the commissioner and officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force, members of the graduating class of 1989, retired police officer Pamela Miller, the Fraser, George, Bedeau, Alexis, Gay, Noel and Mendez families of Harveyvale and Belmont and surrounding areas, too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou will take place on Friday, July 14th at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church, Lauriston, Carriacou, and interment will be at the Harveyvale Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Simeon Felix, also known as Dingo, of La Femme St. David, passed away on Saturday, June 24th, 2023, at the age of 70. He was the husband of Rosaline Felix, father of Rondal, Ronald, Russell, Randon, and Rita, brother of Valerie, Christine, Violet, and Eslin, grandfather of Ronel, Rondal, Rochelle, Ronique, Ronim, Ronaya, and Prince. Many nieces, nephews, in-laws, relatives, and friends, including the Felix, John, and Scott families of La Femme, the Alexander family of Hermitage, the Thomas family of Rucaine, the Gabriel family of Café, Pastor Selwyn Haling and members of the Garden of Prayer St. Paul's, Pastor Philip Francis and members of the Temple of Faith La Femme, the Smith family of Berot, the Mapson family of Petite Becaille, and friends and neighbors of La Femme, Charlotteville, Mondelez, and Petite Becaille. The funeral of the late Simeon Felix, also known as Dingo, of La Femme St. David, will take place on Friday, July 14th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Prayer St. Paul's, and interment will be at the Mount Airy Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beausejour St. George died on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, at the age of 39. left to cherish his memory are his father, Derek Frederick, mother, Gloria McGilvery, 3 brothers, Kent Maitland in the USA, Kent Don and Kellon Frederick, his only sister, Asha Amedi, 3 aunts and 5 uncles, 67 cousins in Grenada, the USA, Canada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 2 nephews, Kendrick George and Kennel Frederick, 1 niece, 3 sisters-in-law, Lily Maitland, Naki, and Karen Frederick. Other relatives and close friends including the Maitland and McGilvery families in Grenada, the Frederick and Pauline families of Willis in the UK, Canada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the market vendors in St. George's and Happy Hill, loved ones and neighbours of Grand Anse Valley, Beauséjour, River Road, Brazan, the Coronage, and in Carriacou. The funeral of the late Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beauséjour St. George will take place on Monday, July 17th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Church of the Uganda Martyrs, Happy Hill St. George, and interment will be at the Top Fen Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Marie Veronica Oliver of Grand Mall St. George died on Monday 26th June 2023 at the age of 75. Left to continue her legacy are her children, Eva McIntosh residing in Carriacou, retired NYPD Lieutenant Nimrod Oliver, Hull Oliver residing in Canada, Dr. Oslin Fraser, Erlin Antwine, Jesslyn Oliver, Lorik Oliver, and Linda Oliver residing in the USA. Also celebrating her life are her stepchildren Denise Clark, Gail Gilchrist, Lydia Moore, and Wade Phillip, daughters-in-law Aisha Caliste Oliver and Notonia Forsyth Oliver, sons-in-law Bernard McIntosh and Wayne Antwine, siblings Anne Bennett, Moses Scott, Enoch Scott, Matthew Scott, Martin Scott, Maureen Maturin, and Miriam Marine, over 30 grandchildren, over 2 great-grands, over 60 nieces and nephews. Are the family and friends of Mardi Gras, the Jerome family, Dexter Fraser, Derek Alexander, Alison Valma, Kathy Nelson, Christine Cervelia, Auden Nelson, Rhonda Paul, Janice Stanley, Teresa Andrews in the USA, Nicole Smith, Yoland and family, Pastor Thomas Welch and family, the Victor family of Grand Mall, Mrs. Adonna Mitchell and family of Grand Mall, the Gittins family in Canada, Miss Rosie Worm, the Carter family in the USA, Miss Stephanie, Tonti Una and family in the US, the Dowden family of Grand Mall, the Guadalupe family of Carriacou, Miss Barbara Brown in the USA, and friends and family at home and abroad. The funeral of the late Marie Veronica Oliver of Grand Mall St. George will take place on Monday, July 17th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Market Hill Evangelical Centre and interment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Augustine Henry Joseph, also known as Moyo or Awu, of Tuileries St. Andrew, died on Sunday, June 18, 2023, at the age of 70. Left to mourn his mother, Ada Joseph, brothers Lydon, Cresswell, Worrell and Henson, sisters Teresa, Celia, Lidris and Desiree, Uncle Peter Mark, sisters-in-law Lynette Joseph and Teresa Simon, many nieces and nephews, including Rishad, Dexter, Deron, Dev, Nickinson, Marilyn, Rihanna, Tamika, and Leanna. Other relatives and friends, including Rena, Miriam, Giselle, Brother Ken, Jerry, the Celestine, Joseph, Charles, and Mark families of Munich, Mamacan, Croshoe, and Westerhall, the Hayes family of Laborie, and the Jerome family in the USA, and neighbours of Tuileries and surrounding villages. The funeral service for the late Augustine Henry Joseph, also known as Moyo or Awu, of Tuileries St. Andrew, will take place on Monday 17th July at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenville RC Church, and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Osborne Hagley, also known as Bonnie and Teacher Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, passed away on Thursday, 15th June 2023, at the age of 62. He was the beloved husband of Sandra Maureen Hagley, father of Nakia Hagley in the USA and Nyasha Andrews in Grenada, stepfather of Rashida, Jamal and Jonathan Bruno in Atlanta, Georgia, grandfather of Nandi and Chidiama Mitchell, Jasper and Jazir Bruno in Atlanta, brother of Lureen and Joan Hagley, step-brother of Ann Pear and Bernadette Francis, father-in-law of Chris Mitchell in Texas, USA, brother-in-law of Kathy, Mario, Eddie, Angus, Lanessa, Anthea, Wendy and Magdalene, all in the USA, Mary, Myrtle, Donna, Judy, Pamela and Sion in Grenada, Jocelyn and Eslyn in Barbados, and Ingram Grappy in Canada. Nephew of Nestor, Elsa and Netta Francis, and George Hagley. Cousin of many other relatives and friends, including the Hagley, Francis, McIntosh, Sparks, Noel, Bain and Moraine families, Ken Bubb, Glenn Williams, Penguin, Godson, Jude Marishaw, Shumba, William de Ravinair, Derek Andrews, the staff of Kroger, Atlanta, Georgia, and friends and neighbors of Rukane, Bellevue, Pomrose, Malmount, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Joseph Osborne Hagley, also known as Bonnie and Teacher Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, will take place on Monday, 17th July at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. David's Anglican Church, and interment will be at the Anglican Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Francis Bernard James, also known as Charlie, Presley, and Burn the Pling, of Coast Guard, who resided at Diamond St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, 29th June 2023, at the age of 75. He was the father of Johnny Phillip in Grenada, Venus James Jack in the USA, and Aaron James in Trinidad. Grandfather of Leanna, Jared, Shantae, Anna, Jeremiah, Juliana, Koala, and Naomi. Brother of Joan, Joyce, Marilyn, Gregory, Martin, and Joel. Brother-in-law of Alston George, Noel Methven, and Cletus Lewis. Nephew of Matthew, Harvey, Lynn, and Deli. Uncle of many, including Javid, Shermana, Leslie Brother B. Modeste, Constable number 228 Kelly George, Jason, Londa, and Tyrone. Many other relatives and friends, including Merle James, George Holder, Michael Mark, the Caliste, Francis, Augustine, Julian, and James families of Coast Guard and Victoria, the Barry family of Rosehill, the matron and staff of Charles Memorial Home, and friends and neighbors of Victoria, Coast Guard, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Francis Bernard James of Coast Guard, who resided at Diamond St. Mark, will take place on Wednesday, July 19th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Victoria St. Mark, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Augustine Philip Thomas, also known as Philip Edwards and Pipeman, a well-known plumber of Monjaloo, who resided at Snug Corner and the Bocas St. George, died on Saturday, July 1st, 2023, at the age of 66. Left to mourn are his 3 children, Christine Frank, also known as Errol, employed at Sandals Resort, Michael Frank, also known as Plastic, employed at Grenada Breweries Limited, and Chantel Lawrence, employed at Food Fair Coronage. 3 grandchildren, Genevieve and Malik Frank, and Zonaya Sylvester. Brothers and sisters, Anthony Thomas, residing in Orlando, Florida, Arnold Mark, residing in Trinidad, Peter, Captain Bernard and Mikey in Grenada, Bernadette Cobb in the USA, Elizabeth Smart in Trinidad, Anna Griffith, and Velma Dicoto in Grenada. Many nieces and nephews, including Lindley Edwards, Alpheon Griffith, Maudlin Edwards, Betty Logie, Abiel Griffith, Kim, Marcia Cobb, Lisa and Nasli Grappy, Marlon Thomas and Kenny Pascal. In-laws Leslie Cobb, Alistair Griffith, and Alberta Thomas. Daughter-in-law Risa Mason. Other relatives and friends including Adina Protein, Clinton Bailey and family, the Frame family, Medicor, Wolf, Bishop Vivian Smith and family, Wendy Gooding and family, Roll Ross, Michelle, David Shop at Snug Corner, Stacy, Patsy, Jenna's Garage, Dale, Uncle Bing, Gunshot, the Elderly Club of the Bocas, the management and staff of Bailey's Funeral Home, the Edwards, Thomas, Griffith, John and Redhead families, and neighbours and friends of Mongeloo, Snug Corner, Berlioz, Willis, Boca, St. Paul's and the Bocas and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Augustine Philip Thomas, also known as Philip Edwards and Pipeman, of Mongeloo, who resided at Snug Corner and the Bocas St. George, a well-known plumber, will take place on Wednesday 19th July at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Trinity Worship Centre, the Bocas St. George, and interment will be at the Mongeloo Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Terry Foray, also known as Puto, of St. David Street, Victoria, St. Mark, passed away on Saturday 17th June 2023 at the age of 57, left to mourn his children Raquel Mark, Ryan Crosby and Marcel Morris, grandfather of Ranil and Rana Mark, brother of Terence Farrier, Sion Farrier in Trinidad, Teresa Earl in the USA, and Marva Modeste in Canada. In-laws Eugene Earl and Edgar Modeste. Uncle of Sherlana Pear, Melissa and Edwin Modeste, Farah, Davidson, Devon, Deron and Jasmine Mathlin, Zeta Earl, Neil Papasan St. Louis, Raphael Rampa Forsyth, and Dunda George. Caregiver Hilary Alexander. Other cousins, relatives and close friends in Grenada, Trinidad and England, including Tahira and Ethan Modeste, Albert Forsyth and Carol Forsyth, Dana Mathlin, Norris Paul, Karen Watts, Rollet Edwards, Carlton Legal, Christine St. John, Raphael Arthur, Wayne Colin Leach, Othma Watts Leach, and friends and neighbours of Victoria and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Terry Foray, also known as Puto, of St. David Street, Victoria, St. Mark, will take place on Wednesday 19th July at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Anglican Church St. Mark, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Carlton Sebastian Alexis, also known as Carlton, of Craigston, Carriacou, who resided in the United Kingdom, passed away on Tuesday, June 6, 2023 in the UK, at the age of 78. He was the husband of Dr. June Alexis, his loving wife, father of Che and Damien Alexis, grandfather of Shanice, Miles, Cian, and Eric Alexis, brother of Paul Drummond, Winston Rogers, and Helen Baird, uncle of many including Pam Blackwood, Pat Alexis, also known as Pato, Karen and Steve, also known as Buggy, close cousin of many, Kervin Steele, Theo Alexis, George Alexis, Princess Mackenzie, Bubbles, Crankers, Knack, Vincent, Toya, Totu, Monica, Amy, Nestor, Ronnie, Angela, Todd, and Redhead. Close friend of Joe Cato, Raphael Stanislaus, D. Friday, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell, and Winston. Other relatives and friends, including the Alexis families, the Brown families, the Curry family, the Drummond family, Michael Alexander, Lacroix and family, Theo Alexis and family, Kervin Steele and family, Alex, Ruby Noel, Cecil and Pat Hollingsworth, and friends and neighbours in the United Kingdom and Craigston Carriacou, too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Carlton Sebastian Alexis, also known as Carlton, of Craigston Carriacou, who resided in the United Kingdom, will take place on Thursday, July 20th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Francis Anglican Church, Harveyvale, and interment will be at the Alexis Family Cemetery, Belmont, Carriacou. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Anacita Guy, also known as Rika Frank and Marty Rose of Vendham St. George, passed away on Tuesday, July 4th, 2023, at the age of 94. She was the mother of Kenneth and Fletcher Frank, grandmother of Karina, Kim, Kellon, Francis, Darren, Ron, Billiana, Chad, Camille, Cade, and Jalissa, great-grandmother of 26, sister of Clifton Guy in Trinidad, mother-in-law of Donnery and Deborah, aunt of Richard, Dixon, Dunbar, Xavier, Cuthbert, Irma, Daphne, and Angela. Many cousins, other relatives, and close friends, including the Frank family of Vendham, New Hampshire, and Boca, the Walker and Telesford families of Vendham, the Gibson family of the Bocas, the staff and residents of Hillsview Home, and friends and neighbours of Vendham and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Anacita Guy, also known as Rika Frank and Marty Rose, of Vendham St. George, will take place on Thursday, July 20th at 11 a.m. Funeral service will be held at Our Lady Help of Christians Catholic Church, Beaulieu, and entombment will be at the Vendham Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotar St. David, who resided at Mongelou St. George, passed away on Friday, 23rd June 2023, at the age of 67. Left to mourn his wife Petrolina Gibson, children Natalie Bridgman, Lanessa and Jonathan Gibson, brothers and sisters Raymond Buckmeyer, Rosalind Kennedy, Bob Buckmeyer, Terry Buckmeyer, Deborah Francis Alexis, and Wilfred Buckmeyer, grandson Easton Marcus Gibson, brothers-in-law James Kennedy and Neil Alexis, sisters-in-law Barbara Buckmeyer and Jackie Buckmeyer, aunt-in-law Elaine Buckmeyer in Canada, aunt Anne Buckmeyer and family of River Road. Many nieces and nephews, too numerous to mention. Other close relatives and family, including Alice Gibson and family, Dwan Noel, Mrs. Valda Brown, Bowen Louisaw and family, the Courtney family, James Park and family, Gentle D. Gale and family, all of Mongelou, Norge Mitchell and family of Pedmotar, Althea Amady of Hopevale, Jefferson Niles and family of Westerhall, Stephen Johnson and family of Westerhall, Lieben Clark, the Malin Smith family in the USA and England, Eugene Julian and family of Pedmotar, Mr. Carlisle Gabriel of Woburn, Doreen Bain of Marianne, the Bridgman family of Monthorn, and friends and family of Mongelou, Marianne, Pedmotar, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotar St. David, who resided at Mongelou St. George, will take place on Thursday, July 20th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Vincent Anglican Church, Mongelou St. George, and interment will be at the Mongelou Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Rita McIntyre of Grand Anse St. George passed away on Friday, June 30th, 2023, at the age of 81. She was the beloved wife of Curtis McIntyre, also known as McCoy, mother of Christopher Hall Monroe, Nixon McIntyre, and Dwight McIntyre, mother-in-law of Rona McIntyre and Gillian Monroe, grandmother of Neil and Bobby Duncan, Danielle, Jordan and Nathan McIntyre, and Everly in Canada, sister of Marjorie Walker, Winston Williams Hall, Joan Lacrette, and Peter Williams, aunt of Maureen and Sharon Ogilvy, Janice Thomas, Marsha and Abina Isaac, Ruth Ann Walker, Gary Ned, Jonathan Walker, and Jaburi Griffith. Sister-in-law of Cecil Walker, Winston Lacrette in the UK, and Eastlyn Williams in the USA. Many other relatives and friends, including Auntie Lou, Ben Hall, the Hall, Telesford, and Reuben families of Retreat, Linus and Twine, Teacher Sonia, Claudia, Bernice, Yvonne, Denisha, Rosalind Roseau Mason, Norma Williams, Paula Fortu, Janet Fleming, Priscilla Duncan, Pamela Greenidge, the pastors and members of the Berean Assembly of Churches, the McIntyre, Charles, Humphrey, McSween, Miller, Neptune, Quash, and St. Louis families of Grand Anse, and friends and neighbors of Retreat, River Road, Belmont, Grand Anse, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Rita McIntyre of Grand Anse St. George will take place on Friday, 21st July at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Gateway Assembly, Point Celine, St. George, and interment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Celine Edwards of Woodland, St. George, a well-known attorney at the law office of George E.D. Klein, passed away on Thursday, July 6, 2023, at the age of 31. Left to mourn are her siblings Crystal Klein, Deloney and Emile Edwards, Danielle St. Bernard, Sindra and Cavell Winsborough, and Ryan Patrick, nieces and nephew Nia Chase, Carter and Melody Edwards, and Maya Peters, her staff of the law office of George E.D. Klein, and other loving staff Margaret Caliste and Julius Alexander. Many other close cousins, friends, and relatives, including Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenard, Justice of Appeal Malcolm Holdip and family, George Klein and family in New York, Sedma Klein and family in Canada, Nakia, Gabrielle and the Whitehall family in Barbados, Akil Gill and family in Barbados, the Crawford family in Barbados, Dia Robertson and the Robertson family in New York, Damika Lambert and family, Donneil Andrew and family of Marquis St. Andrew, and the entire legal fraternity in Grenada and members of the legal fraternity in the OECS. The funeral of the late Celine Edwards of Woodland, St. George, will take place on Friday, 21st July at 12:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenada Trade Centre Montrouge, St. George, according to Catholic rites, and entombment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Catherine Matthew Alexis, also known as Miss Erica, of Guave Estate, St. John, passed away on Friday, June 30th, 2023, at the age of 83. She was the mother of Avis, Lisa, Brenda, and Kenwin, also known as Ballhead, grandmother of Oscar, Darvin, Darvina, Karina, Jana, Lorianne, Theron, and Nisa, great-grandmother of Kyle, Zaya, Lyman, Janae, Zion, Michael, Morgan, Ashley, Amari, Tia, TJ, and Zaid, sister of Ennis in Trinidad, Sylvia in England, Florence and Bernard in Grenada. Many nieces and nephews, including Floris St. Louis, Nellis Menz, Desiree Matthew, and Raymond Beast Matthew. Other relatives and friends, including Ermin Raymond, Barbara Lewis, Maureen Lewis, Joy Chance, Crispin Alexis, Shawnell Douglas, Corinne Mitchell, the priest and parishioners of Florida Catholic Church, the Matthew, George, Alexis, and Mans families, and neighbors and villagers of Waterloo, Loretto, Guave Estate, and surrounding communities. The funeral of the late Catherine Matthew Alexis, also known as Miss Erica, of Guave Estate, St. John, will take place on Friday, 21st July at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at St. Peter's Catholic Church, Guave, followed by private cremation. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Justice Dame Monica Joseph, retired puisne judge of Lansopine St. George, passed away on Thursday, July 6, 2023, at the age of 89. The funeral arrangements for the late Justice Dame Monica Joseph, retired puisne judge of Lansopine St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Shawnee Pascal of Woburn St. George died on Monday, July 10, 2023. The funeral arrangements for the late Shawnee Pascal of Woburn St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Helena Paul, also known as Auntie Mina of Boca St. George, who resided at Petmotar St. David, passed away on Thursday, July 6, 2023, at the age of 101. The funeral arrangements for the late Helena Paul, also known as Auntie Mina of Boca St. George, who resided at Petmotar St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Monica Ramona Rouget, also known as Nemna, of Munich St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, 7th July 2023, at the age of 94. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Ramona Rouget, also known as Nemna, of Munich St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Kenton James, also known as Fat Boy, of Duquesne St. Mark, died on Saturday, 8th July 2023, at the age of 46. The funeral arrangements for the late Kenton James, also known as Fat Boy, of Duquesne St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Cecilia Maria Mitchell Cummings of Beaulieu and Monkgate St. George, who resided in the USA, passed away on Friday, June 30th, 2023, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Cecilia Maria Mitchell Cummings of Beaulieu and Monkgate St. George, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Emmanuel Murray, also known as Rawle and Gopher, of Montrule St. Patrick, passed away on Friday, June 30th, 2023, at the age of 79. The funeral arrangements for the late Emmanuel Murray, also known as Rawle and Gopher, of Montrule St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Agatha Cynthia Noel of Adelphi Birchgrove St. Andrew passed away on Wednesday, 28th June 2023, at the age of 90. The funeral arrangements for the late Agatha Cynthia Noel of Adelphi Birchgrove St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Jasmine Lewis, also known as Nenny, of Wharf St. John, passed away on Thursday, 22nd June 2023, at the age of 92. The funeral arrangements for the late Jasmine Lewis, also known as Nenny, of Wharf St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Clint Thornhill, also known as Police, of Constantine St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 27th June 2023, at the age of 27. The funeral arrangements for the late Clint Thornhill, also known as Police, of Constantine St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Royston Godfrey Jelliso, also known as Red George, of Mardi Gras St. David, died on Thursday, 22nd June 2023, at the age of 56. The funeral arrangements for the late Royston Godfrey Jelliso, also known as Red George of Mardi Gras St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Rickelson Toussaint, also known as Rick Boy and Baby Boy, of River Sally St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, at the age of 20. The funeral arrangements for the late Rickelson Toussaint, also known as Rick Boy and Baby Boy, of River Sally St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Canada, passed away on Saturday 17th June 2023 at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue, St. David, who resided in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.